Hi everyone, my name is Robert Fountaine-Holman, and today I'll be presenting some poetry and some short fiction from my upcoming book, Between Breaths. The first title I'll be reading today is Finding You to Say Goodbye. Finding you to say goodbye. I fell in a hole trying to find you and ended up on the highway, riding into the sunset and away from the sunset. The loud motorcycle pipes cracked the air like a violent belch where the light bends. And all I could hear you say was, soon as I hit the highway, see you later. I became a legend looking for you. I never stopped looking for you. The people of the desert town waited for me every day, and they'd sing, some dance to remember, some dance to forget. I'd get to where the light bends, and I'd see you propped up against your Indian roadmaster, pitching a stick into the fire, but my brakes stopped working, and I sped past you. And you yelled. You looked up and chuckled and went back to pitch some more. The belching Valkyrie cut the air. You were in front of me and cast a line into the deepest part of the river and said, don't leave that girl. The sun was in my eyes for 2 days, and I sat there on the soppy bank thinking about what you said and how no one told me you left and got a 2-day head start. You were always clever like that, elusive. But at the beginning of each sunrise and sunset, I was riding the yellow line. Gotta ride the yellow line. Never finding you is how dreams are made. I just wanted to say goodbye. August 7th, 1998. He only comes out to sit in the heat of the day when the mosquitoes start biting. Naps are spent reliving World War II, and Ticonderoga plays in the background, then Walker, Texas Ranger. The sky has painted itself a peculiar iridescent blue. The kind white curtains get when crowds and clouds crowd around the sun for a bedtime story. What you know, good John Doe? You tell me, good kid. I know I left Texas running. Me too, right behind you. His favorite part was watching the grandkids catch fireflies and let them go. Gotta let them go. Don't go no further now, you hear? Okay, Papa. That boy looked just like you, Robert. You know that? He called me over and put his arm next to mine, asking John Doe, is he pure? John Doe laughed and said, getting black, but y'all about the same color. Took you a while to get there. Different kind of Rob Holman black. Catch up with you quick. I giggled and ran off and stood under the tree to buzz like the locust until my lips were numb. Bzz, 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 bzz. Well, let me get on out of here. I can't see folk driving at night. What you say, whiskey tomorrow? Rob? Don't hurt me now. I got the reunion tomorrow. Be back about this time, you hear? Papa waited and waited, walked inside and took his shirt off. We were on our way out the door. Just finished kisses and hugs and see you tomorrows. John Doe was a few minutes late, visiting his wife out to the graveyard. It was always hard to leave, hard to go home. He parked outside and saw Papa from the window, heard the wheezing, hacking, that same rocking back and forth. He knew that gripping phlegm. He knew what coughing up a blood clot sounded like. He knew what it sounded like the day before a heart attack. Whiskey for breakfast. Let me get on out of here. It's getting dark. I can't see. Full driving. August 8th, 1998. I learned how to ride my bike today. I yelled, "I'm flying, I'm flying." You would be too. I feel the table scoot across the linoleum. It was a deeper sound than the chair, something I can feel in my little legs. The only time we moved the table was when Granny was getting ready to mop, so I went to the laundry room to get the pine saw, and I see a bed with wheels. I don't know where Granny is. The people in the kitchen have on blue army pants. I look down the hallway to see the churchmen standing in your doorway. I don't want to go down there, and maybe it's the expression on their faces. They're having trouble getting the bed down the hallway. It's rattling, the wheels, the handles are snapping, the rails are snapping, jamming down the hallway, scraping the paint. It took the strength of your fellow men to lift you up and hoist you into that gurney. 11:59 p.m. Shirtless, still warm, smelling like zest and muscle rub. That became your minty lotion. They knock your placard over. 47 years of service, Harbison Walker, Robert Lee Holman. There is chatter outside, mostly prayer. The back door slams, echoing from the mouth of the garage. You just paved. Down the driveway, you just paved. It smells like asphalt still. You just paved. I hear the rattle of the wheels and the snapping of the rails into place. They roll you out. I know it's you. I know how you look when you're sleeping. And at the age of 8, I still ask my mom, "Is that Papa? Why do they have the blanket over his head?" What I'm about to read is a triptych, the nonfiction, fiction version called My Son, dedicated to my son, D'Angelo. You are 3 at the playground. You came and sat beside me, nestled under my arm. Did you fall, baby boy? If somebody hit you, remember what Daddy said. You hit them back as hard as you can, okay? No, I just love you everywhere, Daddy. Your chubby hands clamped my jacket so you could pull yourself into my lap. I held you. You look just like your mom. Nuh-uh, Daddy, I'm a boy. You got her color in her round face. You tucked your right arm, the left one around me. You closed your eyes. You got my ears. I think you like the sound of my heartbeat. Why don't you go play, baby boy? We ain't got much time left. No. And you pressed your ear against my chest. I think you like the sound of my heartbeat. I set my chin on top of your head to keep you from falling over, just in case you fall asleep. You always twiddle your fingers before you fall asleep. You sleep, big man? No answer. But it's not the time. It's not the right place. What will people think? I can't let the moment pass. So I do it. I dug my nose into your woolly coils and took the deepest breath I could. I always loved that you smelled like A&D ointment and milk, but that was before you had eyebrows. I miss that. You smell like the teddy bear my grandma gave me. This time, I couldn't stop, and I held you tighter than usual. In through the nose and out the mouth, soaking up as much as I could before the moment was gone. It made me feel like a kid again. And for a moment, we were the same age and you were my best friend. And we hug when our mommy says it's time to go. My teddy bear, your brown hair is like a teddy bear. Snuggles. It plays a song I never knew the words to, but I can hum the melody. And you always did like that. Is it the sweet drool from the Honey Nut Cheerios that seeped into your hair, or the sap from your sucker? 5 minutes passed by, more than I asked for. That smell is a smell I smelled before I was afraid to love, before it became forbidden. I'm too hard on you. And I don't like it when you cry. And that's not right. But I love the way you smell, and I kiss you when you're asleep. I stopped to see if anyone's staring. One woman. That's all right. She looks with affection. She understands, and it's okay. You look up at me and giggle. Aw, Daddy. You startled me because I didn't know you were asleep. Have you known this whole time? My secret is found out. I love you. I didn't want you to know I love you. My son, the fiction version. I remember trips to Chicago on the weekends when I didn't work. Sometimes I did have work and I left to see you anyway, taking my homework with you to do in a hotel in between your naps. I remember changing your diaper and making your bottles. I wasn't around as much, so no one knew that I knew how you liked them. I remember not being able to afford a receiving blanket, so I used to use one of my undershirts, and when I came back to Missouri, I would wrap it around my head and pull it over my nose. I'd wake up, and it would be you and me and your sister in our own house, and you were 4 and had glasses and shorts that looked too small because you have long legs like your other side of the family. I remember telling you that yesterday you were just a baby and I was a senior in college. And you didn't have eyebrows. You laughed and told me, Dad, you're silly. You're 28. When I asked how old you were, I know you didn't know because yesterday you were a baby. And when you realized that you were a baby, then you got mad and you couldn't remember what you even had for breakfast. You began to shrink and your hair got shorter. Your wrist and your neck got doughy, and I didn't try to stop it. I wanted 4 years back that I lost with you. You were happy once I held you and rocked you and made your bottles just like how you like and rubbed your rashes with A&D ointment. This time, I want you to know that I love you. My son, the prose version. I stopped to see if anyone's staring. One woman with affection. She understands, and it's okay. You look up at me and giggle. She giggles too. And we don't notice the man that's getting attacked by the mother geese over by the pond because he let his curious dog too close to the gooselings. He ends up falling into the shallow pond. I think I hear him yell, "My phone is ruined." I'm not sure he knew the small dog was drowning from being picked at and held underwater by the big-breasted male. The mothers herded their babies on, but turned back with curiosity. Then they waddled on into the brush. The man ran out of his salmon-colored Sperry's, and after picking up his yelping dog, eventually made it to me. Saw me holding you and said, maybe I should get one of those. Seems to be a lot less trouble than a damn dog. Mind if I use your phone? My phone's ruined. I saw you and your splash brother, I said. Here's my phone. You know you can't just get these anywhere. You can if your wife ain't able to have kids. Yeah, honey, it's me. Dog thing isn't working out. I think I want to go ahead and adopt. I know. Yes, I really do mean it. Okay, bye. Love you. She still wants to keep the dog. Thanks for the phone call, buddy. I'll see you around.